because there have been some great games, some great comebacks, and I can't tell you how proud I am the way our players, kept competing in the game over and over and over. We came up with plays when we needed to come up with plays.
I'll have more in a moment.
When it comes to your business IT solutions, smarter is better. Meet the authority from C-Spire. Our team of super specialized engineers partner with businesses of all sizes, taking on their toughest IT challenges while finding new opportunities. Connectivity, data security, cloud services, you name the tech, we have a specialist for it. C-Spire Business. Win with authority. Your partners in IT. Every size business deserves top-tier IT solutions. Visit cspire.com/business.
Here are more post-game thoughts from Coach Saban.
I know we struggled offensively in the first half. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, played man-to-man, made some good adjustments at halftime, did a much better job in the second half of moving the ball, and always didn't, pan out for us. But, man, you cannot ever imagine players competing in a game any better than what they did in this game.
Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by C-Spire. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. Now 15 dominating with this team. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. The loser kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown break. Alabama back on top. To the end zone. Touchdown. Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with a record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
We created for ourselves, some they created. Obviously, the things that, we created, we need to correct so that maybe we don't have some of those issues, in the future. It's nice to see Will Anderson be the SEC Player of the Week again. I think, this is a great opportunity for our team to be in the SEC championship game. They worked hard all year for it. They're going to play a great team in Georgia. Georgia's the number 1 team in the country. They've been the most consistent team all year long in terms of how they've sustained their performance and played at a high level, dominated the competition just about every game that they've played. I think that's, a reflection of Kirby's done a great job. They have, a mature team that plays with a lot of competitive character. And, they're the number 1 defense in the country. They've got a lot of good players on defense. They've had created a lot of negative plays. Sack, crush the quarterback, tackles for loss. And, their offense has been very, very efficient. They're scoring 40 points a game. Quarterbacks played outstanding football for them. He's one of the leading pass efficiency guys, in the country. They're able to run the ball with great balance. They've got 2 great running backs that both contribute equally. And They got really good skill players outside. 19 is really a good tight end. Is actually the leading receiver on the team, and a very athletic guy who creates a lot of mismatch issues for you in the passing game. They're great. They're very good on special teams. This is a complete team, and it'll be a tremendous challenge for our players to, play well. That's obviously the goal, and we got to have the right mindset and good preparation, all week long to be able to do that.
We'll start with Nick Kelly.
You talked post-game some of the issues on the O-line. What are some of the things you feel are correctable up front in pass protection and run blocking?
I think we got to play more physical. I think we got to be more aggressive in terms of, how we come out of our hips, play with power, whatever it is. We got to try to dictate, when we're in the run game and get moving. We did a better job of that in the second half. And we got to give our players, a good chance with some advantage runs when we do try to run the ball. So pass protection was an issue at times, but we just got to do a better job of, staying square. Quarterback's got to do a good job in the pocket so that the other line knows where he's going to be. So there's a lot of things that we need to work on when it comes to pressures. We got to have a good plan for how we block them, and there's a lot of things that I think we're capable of improving, and I have a lot of confidence that the players will go about it the right way to try to get that done this week.
We'll go to Michael Casagrande.
Yeah, what makes the Georgia defense unique in 2021 in a era of offense, era of college football dominated by offensive football?
Well, I think they've been very good on defense for several years. They were very good on defense last year too. They got a lot of the guys back that are experienced, in that regard. They play a good system. They have a good scheme. They're well coached, and they have really good players. And they play hard. I mean, they play with, a lot of toughness. They're fast reactors. They're very instinctive. So, they got a combination of a good scheme and really good, well coached, and a lot of good players who make a lot of plays by playing, sort of team defense. They don't mess up a lot. They do what they're supposed to do, and they're pretty confident in the way they do it.
We will go to Aaron Suttles.
Without knowing Brian Robinson's availability this week, have you ever been in a situation where you're down to one scholarship running back, and what sort of challenges does that create through the week and practice up until game time?
Well, to answer your question, the first part is no. The second part is, we have to coach the players that we have, and we got to get them ready to play the game. There's nothing else we can do about that. Injuries are part of the game. You don't ever like to see any player, not be able to compete, especially when they've had a great year all year long and probably want to play in this game because of that. But we, as a coach, you just have to coach the players and try to get the players ready that you have available to play in the game, and have confidence in them and try to do the things that they can do well to help the team.
Next, we will go to Charlie Potter. Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, Coach. When you guys were recruiting Will Anderson, what's maybe the biggest thing that stood out to you when you were evaluating him as a prospect?
Oh, we loved Will Anderson in high school. We had good size. You could see the initial quickness, explosive power. We didn't know for sure if he'd end up being a stand-up player or end up playing down. He kind of does both for us now and does both very well. So he's certainly been everything that we thought he would be. And I think that's because of the kind of person he is, the kind of competitive character he has, the leadership qualities that he has. The guy's always trying to get better.
We'll go to Jeff Spiegel.
Yeah, Nick, you've had 3 SEC games in a row that were really close games. What does that say about how the team is, and how important is that going into a game like this?
I can't answer the second part of that question. I think the key to the drill is you got to try to win every play when you play in games like this, and you got to keep battling for 60 minutes in the game. You hear the old adage, play one play at a time, but I think that's probably more important in games like this than any games that you play. We've had to do that several times. Does that help us? I really don't know the answer to that. Hopefully our players can stay focused and, play one play at a time and play the next play, whether we had a good play or a bad play, so that we can try to play with the utmost consistency possible in the game and not get frustrated, keep our poise, and, sort of show the same kind of resiliency that we've had to show, this latter part of the season.
We'll go to John Zehner.
Kind of along the same lines, what does it say about your offense that y'all kept they kind of kept battling and finally got going late in the game after struggling, knowing you're going to face some all adversity facing this defense?
Yeah, well, I don't. It is what it is. I mean, we need to execute better. We create more positive down and distance situations for ourselves. We can't have as many negative plays, which is what this defense thrives on relative to, their pressure and the way they do things, up front. So we it's going to be difficult to continue to kind of overcome those circumstances. The best way to overcome them is not allow them to happen to start with, because you execute and the players are confident in, who they have to block, what they have to do, and knowing that the other team's got really good players, you're going to have to play the best you can all year, best you have all year.
Go to Stuart Mandel.
Nick, another Will Anderson question. It's traditionally been very hard, if not impossible, for a defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy, because you just, you don't see them on the screen every play like you do a quarterback or running back. How would you describe to people the impact he has had for you guys, and how important he has been for you this season?
Well, I think he's been one of the most productive players in college football, as a defensive player. He's done everything that we've asked him to do. He's a very consistent player. He's very disciplined in terms of doing his job, and does it with, tremendous effort and toughness. So I don't know that there's a lot of good football players out there on both sides of the ball, but he's done as much for our team as anybody ever has. And I don't know how that equates into recognition, or how you compare him to other positions, or how you compare him to other players in the country, because I don't get to see those guys all the time. But he's done as much for us as anybody could ever hope for.
I'll be able to get to everybody today, but we're going to finish up with Mike Griffin.
Coach, Kirby said that he simplified some things on defense. Obviously, you guys had some success last year. What do you see as some of the differences in the back of the Georgia defense from a year ago?
Well, I think that I don't know that I see a lot of differences. I think they do a really good job up front. They do a really good job in the back end. They try to disguise what they're doing. Their corners probably play off a little bit more than they play, up on people. I don't know what their plan will be against us, but I think they're outstanding, and maybe they have simplified things, but they're still really aggressive and do a lot of very, very good things that are made them the best defense in the country.
All right, Coach. Get the players here in just a moment.
All right, welcome back in. And again, Coach Saban in his weekly press conference, Alabama, big win over the Auburn Tigers down at Jordan-Hare Stadium, 24-22 and 4 overtimes, and unbelievable as far as you look at what happened, or getting into that third overtime. Yeah, I'm like, in my mind going, wait, how many were there?
Oh,
we're talking about coming in that we had never seen an Iron Bowl quite like this, to where you wake up the next morning and you're like, what happened?
I'm still not quite sure that happened.
And also just the fact that to see Alabama struggle the way that they did, all the way till able to get the 14 points and really 24 points in the fourth quarter, and in the overtime as well. But some really great plays, a lot to talk about, and also some mental mistakes that cost Alabama a lot throughout the game, and we'll get into that defensively. And I put out this on my Instagram, some of the social media, and I told you guys, for Pete's sake, that should be the headlines. Give them some credit for how the defense played, even though they made some mental mistakes at times. The defense still stepped up in a big way, holding Auburn only to 10 points, allowed that offense to finally get rolling in the fourth quarter. So I give them credit, and also Bryce Young and Jacoby Brooks really stepping up and making some huge plays for the Crimson Tide. The number 7 young wide receiver for Alabama, and big catch there at the end, but also some other key catches throughout the game as well, and plugging in after Jamison goes out as your top receiver for the Crimson Tide. What you got, Lars? Go ahead.
Maybe I'm on the wrong mic. No, I was just going to say.
There's only about 6 surrounding your head right now.
It was very impressive how young players stepped up when it was needed most, and when Alabama's season was on the line, SEC championship possibility on the line, national championship possibility on the line. And I know Nick Saban just couldn't be prouder of these young kids. And hey, that's why you got 5 stars as stringers.
We got Stan White coming up.
Yeah. Give us your thoughts, though, real quick.
I just keep 4th and 7. The pass to Billingsley.
It was huge.
It was just
been went for Billingsley all year, and he.
I know, and see, that's all of the components that make up that play, and to be so big. But
in 3rd 7, well, no, sorry, that was 3rd.
That was 4th and 7.
3rd and 10.
Yeah.
In the 97-yard line, or 97 yards to go, 97-yard line.
That's kind of what it was for Alabama. I mean,
and also, Jay, don't you think that was Bryce Young's Heisman moment? 1st and 97, the drive. C.J. Stroud, who was the Heisman front runner, Ohio State loses, and we got 2 hours to get into all this.
All right, we got Stan White coming up on the other side. We'll get his take from the Auburn perspective. He was there. He witnessed this 4 overtime win by the Crimson Tide, but one of those Iron Bowls definitely that would go down in history is one of the best. All right, we'll continue live from AVX. Stay with us here on this Monday edition. We'll be back.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Roll Tide, the best sports talk, period. Your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Cardiology consultants Drs. Hill, Anderson, Lewis, Shaw, Caraway, and Proctor welcomes Dr. Vishal Daya to their practice in November. Dr. Daya is board certified in cardiovascular disease and is board eligible in interventional cardiology. Cardiology consultants are pleased to welcome Dr. Daya to the team of high quality and compassionate physicians. Now accepting new patient appointments, 205-752-0694.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. These pills work for men and women to improve their sexual performance. And now for the price of 2 or 3 pills, you can get nearly 100. There's no need to pay expensive prices for Viagra or Cialis. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Change your life for the better and have fun. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
800-288-9657. 800-288-9657. 800-288-9657. Again, that's 800-288-9657.
High prices don't get you a great network. A great network gets you a great network. It's why Total Wireless runs on the largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. And for a limited time, we're doubling your high-speed data on our $35 unlimited plan from 5 gigs to 10. So you can double your binging, your scrolling, your everything. Total Wireless. Do amazing. Available at Target. Capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Offer ends 12/31/2021. First 10 gigs at high speed, then 2G. Terms and conditions at totalwireless.com/terms.
Dell's Cyber Monday event has arrived, and it's the perfect time to step up your creativity. With incredible savings up to $300 off PCs, it's Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get more into what you're into with the latest XPS and Alienware systems featuring Intel Core processors. Save on top monitors, docks, and accessories, all with free shipping on everything. Plus great financing from Dell Preferred Account. Call 800 by Dell for Cyber Monday deals. That's 800 by Dell.
No tricks, no gimmicks, just great buys here at Townsend Nissan with a super inventory of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, and most of all, crazy high trade-in values and finance rates as low as 0.9%. Don't wait and cost yourself thousands of dollars. Shop Townsend Nissan will be your best buying experience ever. And remember this, great selection, crazy trade-in values, super low rates, and lifetime powertrain warranties on new Nissans. Where should you buy your next vehicle?
Townsend Nissan, your family in the car business.
Colleen, can you run back and wrap that? No, you've got a customer.
The holidays came early for the Hendricks Boutique.
Yes, we'll be open even later when it gets.
They'll need a temp fulfillment manager to tie up the holiday loose ends.
I need some more help at the register. Somebody? Oh, Sherry.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sunny today with a cold north breeze. The high for this afternoon around 50. A freeze likely late tonight, clear with the low at 29. And for the weekend, we stay dry. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. The high both days right around 60. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 54 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Hi, welcome back in as we continue hour number one here live from AVX Audio Video Excellence presented by Top Golf of Birmingham. Get out to Top Golf. You'll absolutely love it. And it is what we call the bowling of our generation. Great with family and friends, coworkers. You'll love it. A lot of parties and great events to go on out there. A lot of charitable stuff as well. Top Golf of Birmingham. We're driven by Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street. Go see Tony Russell and all the great folks at Sonny King Ford. All right, as we await Stan's going to be calling in. I told him I'd text him once Coach Saban was finished up. And then also we got Robbie Robertson going to be joining us from Colonnade Group. Have a chance to hear his thoughts about this week FanFare. He runs it every single year. Been doing it for a number of years. So look forward to getting his take on that and the excitement level for Alabama and Georgia. This matchup in Atlanta for the SEC title for 2021. All right, Stan White, I think, is up. Let's go to Stan and welcome him in, as we really appreciate the color analyst and former quarterback of the Auburn Tigers joining us here on this Monday edition. Stan, how are you, my man?
You there?
All right. You stand up. There we go. We got you now.
Hey, doing great,
Stan,
guys.
we
How are
really
you?
appreciate you. Man, doing well. Really appreciate you coming on. 4 overtimes. What a game. You were there. You were calling the game and a part of that, and watching the reaction from the fans, the excitement level of this game. We had a chance to be a part of this, not only from where we are now in the media, but as players. And I can tell you that was one of the most exciting, and one of the great Iron Bowls of all time.
Well, it really was. And I said this, I guess it was third quarter, that this is to be such a low scoring game, slugfest. It was a very exciting game. Usually when you see a 10-10 type of game, you're not very entertained, but this was one of those old fashioned, obviously defensive slugfests from both defenses. And, you know, it was a situation where it looked like every single play mattered, and it wound up every single play did matter. I mean, you come down to just within one play of Auburn winning, and then one play, Alabama makes one more play and they win in 4 overtime. So it's just really a great football game. And congrats to Alabama. That was just really a great comeback. They never gave up, and congrats to Auburn for just playing their guts out. And so just a very entertaining game to be such a low scoring game.
Yeah, Stan, it was a compelling game, and friends all around the country just couldn't take their eyes off of it. And but Alabama comes into the game a 20.5 favorite, and Auburn, by my perspective, Auburn outplayed Alabama. Were you surprised how well the Auburn Tigers played?
I was not surprised at the energy and emotion and the level of play they played at. What I guess I was a little bit surprised at is because we haven't seen it for 4 quarters in a while. I guess the best four quarter game Auburn had played recently was the Arkansas game, where they wound up winning against a ranked Arkansas team in Fayetteville. And for whatever reason, they had not been able to put together 4 quarters of high level ball. And they did it on the defensive side. The offense struggled. Obviously, they got a backup quarterback and a semi-hurt one, halfway through the game as well. So I think Auburn was in a situation where they couldn't really take a lot of chances offensively because, first of all, Alabama was playing really well defensively, but Auburn just could not get anything going with an immobile quarterback like TJ Finley and. They were struggling the passing game some, so they were just going to try to play a defensive effort. But yeah, I mean, it was an inspired game by this Auburn crew, and obviously Alabama more talent top to bottom and a lot more to play for as a 3-touchdown favorite. But just it's one of those where most of the time the favorite team does come out victorious on that. But man, it was made for a really great ending. I mean, it was. Auburn was literally within one play of putting that game away, and it didn't happen. Alabama held them and got the ball back and drove 97 yards in an epic Iron Bowl.
Stan, assess the play of both quarterbacks. And by the way, I thought Harsin and his staff did a great job, particularly when he got his bum ankle, of keeping Finley in familiar territory and not allowing him to make mistakes. Although, he made a couple, but so did Bryce Young, just to assess the play of both quarterbacks.
I think on Bryce Young's side, Auburn did a fantastic job of making him uncomfortable for the most of the game. Not that, the very end, man, he's just a special player. He's able to extend some plays, and he did that with that 97-yard drive. And he made a wonderful throw. I mean, it was a great catch by a young receiver. It was just one of those. That's a hard to defend play, but for the most part, most of the game, you could tell that Bryce Young was not able to step into throws like he had been able to, and that's where he wasn't just able to get enough on the throws a lot of times because Auburn was making him uncomfortable, and that's what Auburn. I mean, that's the only way Auburn was going to be able to stay in the game is to make him uncomfortable with his throws, with stepping into throws, and you saw a lot of it during the game where he was just getting so much pressure. But 7 sacks, against Bryce Young, and they just did a masterful job of putting pressure on him. But in the end, he showed why he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I mean, he just kept on chopping that wood, so to speak, and he made the necessary plays to happen. Now, on TJ Finley's side, he's not a Bo Nix type of scrambler anyway. He's a big guy, 6'7", 245, and then once he got the bum ankle, that made him even more immobile. And so, Alabama was able to put pressure on him. I think they had 6 sacks, I believe. And so, but Auburn was not going to. They were just going to try to shorten the game, run as much as they could, even though they didn't have a whole bunch of success with it, and maybe try to make shorter throws because, Alabama wasn't going to let them get deep. I think they got deep one time early in the game with Demetrius Robertson. But, so, yeah, I mean, it was you could see the game plan that Mike Bobo and Harsin wanted to put together, not to put too much on TJ Finley.
Visiting with Stan White, former Auburn quarterback and also color analyst for the Auburn Radio Network. And Stan, as I was watching in the fourth quarter and we're sitting there, it's 10-0 Auburn. I'm like, man, Gene Stallings, Pat Dye, they would love this type of game.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the thing about it was, I mean, it was. I think I said this on the air going into the fourth quarter, maybe even right before Alabama tied the game. Even I said, usually this day and age, 28 to 27 is a low scoring game. And then you got a 10 to 10 or a 10 to 3 at the time. Maybe when I said it, I said, this has just been a very entertaining game on both sides because every single play, and I mean, Will Anderson from Alabama, just showing why he's one of the best. And, and Jacoby McClain for Auburn, Roger McCreary just had a whale of a day, having to guard Mechie, and they lost Williams early on. And I said on our broadcast, I said, I think this rule, I said, by the letter of the law, he did target the player, but the ejection should not happen. I mean, he should not have been ejected from the game, just like Auburn had that happen 3 times this year with key players. That rule has got to be addressed because the punishment is too severe to eject a kid from the game for that. You want to try to teach them how obviously not to target, not to lead, and do all that. I get it. But there has to be levels of that punishment. Ejecting a kid for the whole game or for the next game, half hour or whatever, that's just too severe of a punishment to me.
Stan, you're in a unique position in that you have called games against now Alabama and Georgia. You've studied both teams. Can you give us just your assessment and breakdown of this upcoming SEC championship game on Saturday?
Well, yeah, I told somebody, I guess yesterday maybe, I said, right now Georgia's playing at an elite level, and Alabama has played at an elite level at times, not as maybe consistent as Georgia has, but it would be just like them to come up there and beat Georgia by 3 touchdowns. And so, Georgia to me is the most complete team as far as offense, defense, special teams, everything. Especially defensively. Now, Stetson Bennett is not your flash type of quarterback. I mean, he's not a Bryce Young, but he does exactly what they need him to do with that offense, especially with that defense. So they're just really, really, really well coached and a very talented team. Alabama is one of those that you get them going, you get them confidence, and all of a sudden they're difficult as heck to stop, especially offensively, when they're hitting on all cylinders. Now, the one thing that's got to be a concern is how healthy is Brian Robinson going to be? We didn't see him at all in the last part of that game, the last drive or overtimes. So he came off one time with a gimpy, I don't know if it was knee or ankle, and Nick Saban may have addressed that. I'm not sure. But he's a difference maker when Alabama's able to run the ball. So that's going to be the challenge. Is Georgia more complete right now? I think they are as far as just all levels. As Alabama, can they go in there and beat Georgia? Absolutely. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all to see Alabama win the SEC championship and win that game. Georgia's one of those. This is probably the most complete team they've had. They hadn't won a national championship in 41 years. I mean, the big question would be is if they're not going to do it this year, then when? Because they've got everything in their corner, so to speak. But it wouldn't shock me at all for Alabama to win next weekend.
Stan, always great stuff, my man. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, guys. Y'all take care.
All right, man. Tell Tina and the kids hello. All right, Stan White joining us, former Auburn quarterback and also color analyst for the Auburn Radio Network, and some good thoughts there from him about both teams coming into the SEC title game and coming up this weekend as well. FanFare and a lot of other activities. Robbie Robertson in studio with us. We'll talk about all that happening over in Atlanta for the SEC championship coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
In July of 2022, the World Games are coming to Birmingham, Alabama. This international sporting event will trumpet Birmingham's arrival on the world stage. Thousands of athletes from across the globe will bring their hopes and dreams of winning gold. Their stories of perseverance and triumph will capture the world's imagination. This is the new generation of sport. This is the World Games 2022. Tickets on sale now at twg2022.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Rock and Roll Sushi, they're proud to be the original American-style sushi restaurant founded on great food and rock and roll music, boasting concepts and flavors big, bold, and loud. They're the only place to experience the rock you love, the rolls you love, with the ones you love. It all began back in Mobile, Alabama, and then a decade later, tucked inside the Mobile Mall, expanded to encompass more than 40 locations across the southeastern U.S. Since day one, the most rewarded part of their work has been seeing guests fall in love with the amplified dining experience and become fans who return again and again to the biggest hit in town. That's Rock and Roll Sushi. Get out today for lunch or dinner.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.O.
Welcome back in, and we got Robbie Robertson in the studio. Let's get right to it because we got a lot to talk about coming up this weekend for FanFare. First of all, he's been sitting with us through the Stan White interview, and before that, always great to see you, Robbie. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, Jay, thank you. It's great to see you guys. It's been a while for all of us, and
football brings people together, right?
It does. No
and
doubt
one
about
way
it.
or another, it brings people together.
How many years now, FanFare?
Well, the first FanFare was when the game moved to Atlanta, so that would have been 94.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, and it continues to grow, and it's the thing that I love the most, that only college football, and Jay, you've been a participant with us, and the guys love their schools. They love the game. They love the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the fraternities that exist between the players after they've competed is amazing. The respect, I heard it between you and Stan moments ago. And Stan's one of the great ones too. And we see that at FanFare. It's one of the things I'll never forget. Kenny Stapler, long line, FanFare. He's been on the press box stage doing an interview. Now he's doing autographs, and the line is out the door. I went over and said, "Hey, Ken, we tell them 15 minutes, we'll cut it off." And his words were, "You know what? If these guys honor me enough, I want my autograph. I'll sit here till every one of them are done." And that's what they do. So that makes it fun.
Some of the activities that will happen this weekend.
Well, you're going to be kind of surprised at what all is going on, because this is probably going to be one of the bigger ones in terms of event activities. We actually start with a Friday night event at the Park Bar, which is across from Centennial Park, and it's an admission deal, but open bar with all the drinks and spirits and included, heavy hors d'oeuvres, et cetera. We got SEC legends as guests there from both Georgia and Alabama, and you probably know who some of them are.
Yeah.
And so we have some guys there and doing that, and then Saturday we have we actually are now selling turnkey tailgate packages outside the stadium, and that's gone crazy like you would expect. And it includes full barbecue spread. You got your own tailgate set up in the Home Depot backyard.
Oh, wow.
So all that's going on. And then, of course, and if you SEC at Revel, REVELXP.com, that's our new corporate conglomerate company. One day I'd love to tell you guys about all that.
Yeah.
That's a whole new world.
Well, see, I got an email from them, and I'm like, okay, wait, is it Rebel or Colonnade Group? Which I guess
Colonnade, Ben Sutton and I put things together.
Yes.
A year ago. And that's another story. But RevelXP.com is the brand that we're now pushing for that. And or you can call 770-379-3264 and complete your premium experience. And then, of course, at SEC FanFare, man, I mean, we start on Friday, starts at 1:00, ends at like 7, and starts in the morning Saturday at 9. And we are just, again, covered up with great former players. Now, we are distancing a little bit, so normally we would have 4 or 5 guys on the stage. Now we're trying to do it with 2, every now and then 3. Just the conference wants to. They are so thoughtful of details. You're a quarterback. You're a detail guy, right? Well, they think details, and so that's what we have. And so we've got Sean Alexander and I talked this morning. Sean's fired up. Baby number 12 is in the house.
Wow.
Her name is Hope. I said, we're going for 10 more. We have offense and defense.
They could scrimmage in his backyard.
I'm telling you. He said, well, but
he just wanted his own disciples. That's what it was.
Is that what?
Well, he got them now. I'm going to tell him that. That's great. Yeah. Wow. But we have Sean, Jay, you're going to be there. Thank you for that. Aaron Murray will be there. The great Antonio Langham will be there. We always try to we had to bring down a little bit of the non-participant in the game, former players, just because of that numbers thing I was referring to. But Josh Booty's coming over, one of the really good guys and good former LSU quarterback. Derek Ramsey's going to come back. Derek wants to come every single year, and how do you turn him down? He's one of the great quarterbacks back there back in the day. And of course, Run Lindsey Run will show up, Buck Bellew, and
Buck's always there.
Buck's always there, and Corey Raymer's going to come. So we just have a lot of the guys from both sides from all times.
So where did the idea come from? I know it goes back many, many years, but just to create this festive atmosphere that is family friendly, where was the inspiration for this to create this around the SEC championship game in Atlanta?
Lars, that's a great question. I'll try to be as succinct as I can. But, we produced 4 university centennial celebrations, and Alabama's was in 1992. And I know my friends at Auburn, so of course you'd say that, but it's uniquely different when you say, well, they had to celebrate 100 years of football and then go win a national championship. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what they're supposed to. That's the script, right? So we did that on the quad, and we did Arkansas, LSU, and Ole Miss, and they were all really, really, really fun. So when we went to Atlanta with the facilities there adjacent to the Georgia Dome, that offered up opportunities to bring people together. And to the Southeastern Conference credit, Roy Kramer's credit, commissioner said, it has to be bigger than just two teams playing. Otherwise, it's just two teams playing again for the marbles, granted, but you've got to make it important. And we, the conference, want to say this is important. So they put money into it and said, let's do it. Let's make something for the fans. And we did that and started there. And it has, oh my gosh, we'll see upwards of 40, 50,000 between Friday and Saturday there, because why not? It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't cost you anything to go in there, and you're just seeing all kind of people and all kind of fun. And one story, if I have a moment, I'll tell you that I think sort of tells it all. You guys don't remember Billy Richardson. Jay, you might.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I walked in a setting one afternoon, and you remember the old E.F. Hutton talks, everybody listens. Billy was sitting there, and a group was around him. And they were totally mesmerized because right before that week, Al Van Hoos had talked about the only fumble Billy Richardson had at Alabama was in the Sugar Bowl against Arkansas, the 61 championship team. And he fumbled a punt. He played safety and running back. Those days you stayed in the game, And so he fumbles on 25-yard line. And Arkansas recovers. And he said, and so Billy, Al Van Hoos is taking him a task over there in the paper. And Billy said, well, let me give you the rest of the story. The story is that we huddled up then, and defense all looked around, and we looked at it and said, there's two things that are absolutely have to happen. One is we have to block it. And Billy, you have to be the one to block it because you have to face Coach Bryant on the sideline. 3 downs, 4 down, field goal. Billy blocks the field goal. And so when I watched the reaction to people hearing those stories that, Jay, you've lived with, and I realized that's what people don't get to see. And that's what FanFare is about. And we started creating that way so they hear the stories. And that's the genesis of it, Lars. I don't know if that makes a book or not, but it gets a page anywhere.
Right.
No, I've attended several, and it is a lot of fun, Matt.
Well, and the one thing I really like about it, and it's indicative of the entire SEC, is that you really cater to families. There's so many things for even smaller kids to do, and then the big kids like me and Lars and Jay want to go over there and try and throw something. Jay wins all the time, but you really do. I mean, is it a concerted effort to say, hey, we got to make sure that a family of 5 has a blast?
Yeah, it is. Charlie Hussey at the conference cares about that. All the leadership down the line has said the SEC is about sports that it has and families. And that's what the universities are about too. Families come together. So yeah, it absolutely is. We want to have something for everyone, which is why we also have food and beverage in there.
Right.
You go do your lunch.
Where some of us adults will be.
That's exactly right.
Robbie, tell everybody again, number, how they can contact you guys, how they can get involved in FanFare, and also some of the packages that you guys have for tailgating and all the other big activities going on this weekend.
Well, of course, all the game and hospitality, that's all gone. But the SEC at Revel, REVELXP.com is one way to go. Or you can call 770-379-3264, and you can really, at that point, sign on to any of the experience opportunities that you want to participate in, and hope you will. It's creating memories with your family and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I had a call a little while ago from Aaron Murray and Drew Butler. They're playing golf today.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, in our celebrity deal, you guys all typically sit together. Said, would you put us together because our wives are buddies? And I was like, of course. That's what we'll do.
Cool.
Of course.
That's awesome. Well, hey, thanks for coming in, and good luck this weekend. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't believe it's been since '94. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
you do a terrific job. Thank you.
You do.
Thank you, guys.
Right,
good to see all of you.
You too,
Thank
Robbie.
you.
Thank you. Robbie Robertson joining us here at Live in Studio. Local Realty, one of our great sponsors. Check them out, localrealtyflatfee.com. It's localrealtyflatfee.com. For more information on them, they do the flat fee. It's $2,900 flat fee up to a $500,000 listing, and it's going to save you thousands of dollars. They've got a 5-star rating on Zillow. They can help you not only sell your home, again, help you make and save the money that you've put into your home, maybe your biggest investments, your equity. Why should you not get the most out of the sale of your home? That's their belief. Go to Local Realty, flatfee.com for more information. Local Realty, flatfee.com for more information on Local Realty.
Coaching hires literally since we've been on the air. In the last 45 minutes, there have been a couple, and we're going to update you all on the other side of this break.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Ask big.
Have you seen our artisan-created diamonds? If you've been in a room with one, you can't miss it.
Tom Osmond from Fincher & Osmond.
It's a diamond like I've never seen.
And he's seen a lot of diamonds.
Ask big.
At Fincher & Osmond, you can put artisan-created diamonds side by side with mined diamonds. When you see it.
More importantly, when she sees it.
FincherandOsmond.com.
McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Cyber Monday event with savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors. Shop laptops, monitors, and more, plus free shipping. Call 800-BY-DELL. That's 800-BY-DELL.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray Football Forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday night at 11 following the high school scoreboard show on Tide 100.9. Brought to you by Randy Smalley, Floor and Tile.
Hey, folks, BJ Perkins, Executive Manager here at Townsend Nissan. Just wanted to get out the message that Townsend Nissan is having a huge new and pre-owned sale now with a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready to roll today. And most of all, your current vehicles at an all-time high. And Townsend Nissan wants it today. And the icing on the cake is finance rates are at a record low. Townsend Nissan saves you time and money. So where should you shop for your next vehicle?
Townsend Nissan, your family in the car business.
We're going to need to fire up the plow. The big one.
Forecast is 6 feet of snow and 66 new customers for Trin Snow Service.
Hey, Terry.
She needs more drivers before business melts away.
What do you mean Dee can't drive? I thought he was certified.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The thing about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive is that by now you've heard a lot of ads about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. We probably don't even need the words, the Name Your Price tool, to tell you that our humpback whale pup gives you options based on your budget, or that our novelty hand buzzer helps you save on car insurance. And that's the thing about the tiny felt bag filled with marbles. At this point, you've heard a lot of ads about the elusive northern bobcat. The Name Your Price tool, the neighbor who baked you banana bread, only from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door. You get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Weather brought to you by Fincher & Osmond. Fincher & Osmond carries artisan-created diamonds. And trust us, they are bigger than you expect. Visit www.fincherandosmond.com.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sunny today with a cold north breeze. The high for this afternoon around 50. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with the low at 29. And for the weekend, we stay dry. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. The high both days right around 60. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 54 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Here comes pressure, and down he goes. They're going to say he was in the field of play. Bama's Will Anderson came through. Looks right, looks left, looks down. Here came first Dallas Turner, then Will Anderson and a host of others. Quarterback under pressure. Down Finley goes. He'll go down at the 45. Loses 3. Dallas Turner. Quarterback Finley under pressure. Phil Mathis, come on down. Phil Mathis picks up sack number 4 of the ball game for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He looks right, throws right, knocked away by the defensive Helms. Down goes Finley. That was Kool-Aid McKinstry. He'll throw it up high, tipped and intercepted by Alabama. Yep, intercepted by Josh Jobe. It is going to be his second pick of the year. Auburn shows pressure off the edge. Here's the give Robinson, big hole. Secondary cuts to the right, tries to split 2 men. He'll run over a couple of guys and gets down to the 20-yard line. Snap, spot, kick is good. Backpedals into the end zone, looks and throws. Mechie has the first down grab, and he carries everybody out across the 35. Here's a 4th and 7 from the 42. 43 seconds to go in the game. Here's the snap. Bryce has time. Looks, throws, caught. Billingsley, first down, Alabama. Bryce gets the snap, knee high. Looks, throws the fade route, near side end zone. Got it on. Touchdown, Alabama. Caught by Ja'Cory Brooks in the end zone. 24 seconds to go in regulation play. What a throw. What a catch. Good Lord, what a day.
Yeah, what a day, what a game, and that 4th and 7 you brought up earlier, Matt, and just unbelievable. Billingsley, a guy that really had a rough start at the beginning of the year and came up big, and then Ja'Cory Brooks, just unbelievable what he did throughout the game and stepping up. Yeah, what a catch, no doubt.
I watched it again this morning. I went, how did he do that?
Because of weekends like...
It wasn't a bad pass either because he threw it exactly where he could do that.
And because of weekends like this, we've had a lot of coaching changes.
Yeah.
Because the ups and downs, the blood pressure rising.
And here's the latest. Apparently, Rich Rodriguez is going to take the job at Jacksonville State. And this also just came out. Rhett Lashley, who was once on the staff at Auburn, is going to SMU. And that's all. We didn't even get to Sunday yet with Lincoln Riley.
So Rich Rod finally coming to Alabama. and we got to credit Ryan Brown for breaking that one.
And also Bo Nix, you said some news maybe about him.
Yeah, Bo Nix suggesting again on Ryan Brown's show the next round that anything's possible and transfer portal is possible.
In the most expected announcement, Spencer Rattler is in the portal.
All right, so we'll continue hour number 2. Coming up next, right here live from ADX, presented by Top Golf of Birmingham, driven by Sonny King Ford. Stay with us, Matt Coulter, Lars Anderson. I'm Jay Barker. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
I'm excited to tell you about our newest sponsor here on the Jay Barker Radio Network. They pioneered the chicken finger box and the chicken finger restaurants. That's Guthrie's. Guthrie's recipes and process are often imitated, but never duplicated. Look, their sauce is probably the most copied sauce of all sauces all time. And I've known this family since my days down in Tuscaloosa, and they came over, and man, I tell you, it's nostalgic even today to see my kids going to that same Guthrie's. And great family, do so much for the community, but more importantly, provide the best when it comes to chicken fingers. Get out to Guthrie's today.
We all want to create a product or service that's going to change the marketplace. Jeremy and Gina Miller have done it with LocalRealty.com. LocalRealty.com, they've saved sellers over $600,000 in listing fees just in the last 2 years alone. How do they do it? The full service flat listing fee of $2,900, saving you thousands. 5-star ratings on Zillow with over 400 testimonials. Sold over 1,000 plus homes in the Birmingham metro area since 2016. Go online at LocalRealty.com or give them a call at 205-564-3200. That's 564-3200 to Local Realty. At Schaefer Plastic Surgery, knowing they treat you like family, you get a free opening consultation. Not normally you get that for elective surgeries. You do with Dr. Schaefer. And he also combines experience gained from nearly 2 decades in practice, 8 years in advanced training to achieve beautiful, transformative results for his patients. As a board-certified plastic surgeon, Dr. Schaefer's goal is to exceed expectations while being dedicated to safety before, during, and after the procedure. Go online at SchaeferPlasticSurge.com. That's Schaefer Plastic, SURG.com, or 205-278-7969. For more information and located on Highway 280 across from Grandview Hospital.
Whether it's for lunch or dinner, head out to the Cajun Steamer. It's a New Orleans-style joint that serves authentic Cajun and Creole food, cold beer, and great drinks. They are known for their wide array of Cajun classics and original creations prepared in an authentic fashion. This Louisiana kitchen can have you slapping the table for more. Stop by the Cajun Steamer and sign up for your Alabama, LSU, or Auburn fan card. Eat with the Cajun Steamer while your team is on TV and use your fan card to receive a 15% discount on your entire meal. With locations in Hoover, Trustful, Huntsville, and Franklin, Tennessee, they've got you covered. Head out today to the Cajun Steamer.
When you go to turn on the lights, you expect them to work. Our team at Alabama Power does too. But sometimes, extreme weather and events test our system. Knowing we're out there making repairs helps, but answers are what you deserve. So, we're rolling out new tools to keep you informed, especially during storms. Visit Alabama Power's new outage map to see outages in your area and get updates on repair times. And sign up to get personalized outage alerts on your phone or computer for free. Learn more at alabamapower.com/alerts.
Birmingham's best Mexican restaurant for over 20 years and counting. That's La Paz Restaurant in Crestline Village and Mount Laurel. They've got a great staff. Its delicious menu, award-winning cheese dip, and margaritas and vibrant atmosphere have helped to make La Paz a local favorite. Blue corn nachos, Texas barbecue quesadillas, steak and blue quesadillas, Baja fish tacos, signature fajitas, and much, much more. So head over to La Paz today. If you want a great lunch or a great dinner, you'll find all that at La Paz, Crestline, and Mount Laurel for lunch or dinner.
Following this summer's Tokyo Olympic Games, the eyes of the world will turn to Birmingham, Alabama, and the World Games 2022. Next July, the world will come together for the South's largest international sporting event since the 96 Centennial Olympic Games. 3,600 athletes will compete for gold in 34 sports, including lacrosse, softball, gymnastics, flag football, and more. Tickets are on sale now. Buy yours at twg2022.com.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Touchdown. That championship trophy is headed back to Tuscaloosa. Now 15 dominating with this defense. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? You saw the Gatorade shower this time. I love it. Clippers wide open. Tide rolling again. Alabama again, the champions of college football. The loser kicker and will not be caught. Touchdown, Greg. Alabama back on top. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins. The Crimson Tide will not be denied. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. Saban with his 7th national championship. National championship number 18. 13 in all. Absolute perfection.
Jay Barker led the Crimson Tide to a national championship in 1992. Winner of the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award and a finalist in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Voted the SEC Player of the Year. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers, seeing time with the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. The winningest quarterback in Alabama history with the record of 35-2-1. Member of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Jay Barker brings that same championship quality and football expertise to his own radio network and show. Joining him is University of Alabama professor Lars Anderson, who is also a New York Times best-selling author and a 20-year veteran of Sports Illustrated. Live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham, The Jay Barker Show.
Looks, throws, wide open, touchdown, Alabama in overtime. Slade Bolden pulling down his second touchdown reception of the year. Finley loads up, looks, he's under pressure, going down. He's down to the 32. That was Turner, the 6th of the day for Alabama. Riker, the kick, up, and good. It was not the prettiest of kicks, but it was beautiful once it cleared through the uprights. Trey Sanders to the right of the quarterback. Bryce waits, gets the snap, looks left, throws a BB, caught for a 2-point conversion. John Mechie. He beat Nehemiah Pritchett. Finley drops back after being under his center. Running back to his left side. Finley rolls right. Finley is looking. Finley throws. It is knocked down by Alabama. That will be Kool-Aid McKinstry, who knocks it down in the end zone. Gets the snap, backpedals, looks left, throws, touchdown, 2-point conversion, and Alabama wins. John Mechie on the grab. John Mechie on the grab. And Alabama has come from nowhere to defeat the Auburn Tigers in multiple overtimes, 4 overtimes, and John Mechie is the hero with help from many others. 24-22, the Crimson Tide wins the Iron Bowl of 2021.
All right, welcome back in on this Monday edition after the Iron Bowl. 24-22, Alabama gets it done in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Tough environment to play in, and down 10 points in the fourth quarter. They make a comeback and 97-yard drive as well, and Ja'Cory Brooks gets the touchdown. He ends up the day, Ja'Cory does, with 2 catches, 49 yards, 2 big ones, and a touchdown. But John Mechie, the third, at 13 receptions, 150 yards, 11.5 yards per reception. And he had 0 touchdowns, but still a big play there with a 2-point conversion there at the end, and a great route by him as well, kind of what they call a swirl route, like you're going to run a slant and then go back to the outside, and ran it perfectly, set it up, and Bryce threw a perfect ball. And I tell you, the thing that's amazing about this game is not only did they fight back, I think that's what Coach Saban is so, I think, really pleased with his team, as they kept competing. There'll be a couple of questions I want to get into a little bit later on, and we'll get throughout the week, is how does this affect Alabama psychologically, physically, emotionally, to go through that drain after that game? Is it a good thing that they went through it, because now kind of that wake-up call that they've been having to have throughout the year, or is this going to be something that can wear down on them heading into this SEC championship game against Georgia, who's pretty much played nobody the last 2 weeks? So a lot of physicality. Jameson out of the game. We saw other players, some injuries with Brian Robinson. Can he get healthy? Can Trey Sanders be the guy that steps up for that every down back? But a lot of things to break down from this game. But the biggest thing, Alabama got the victory. They were able to pull it off, and some big plays by a lot of guys there at the end, and in order to get this win.
I think it builds your confidence a whole lot, especially when you can do that in somebody else's arena and without 2 of your significant offensive players, which is exactly what Alabama did. However, to take the film clip of the offensive line getting their, what's handed to them, and I don't know, what do you do with it? Drop it in a vat of acid? You don't want your team watching that again, because they've got to get better. And that would take away every bit of confidence your offense had from that, because we talked about that. They were getting shellacked, particularly on the right side, Lars. They could run to the right side, and they were forcing Bryce into situations, as I think Stan White said, made him very, very uncomfortable.
Okay, so the positive. Let's talk about 1st and 97, no timeouts left, and Bryce Young, a true sophomore in the most hostile environment in college football, gets it done. And what poise, what leadership, accuracy. He threw the ball 51 times, which was a season high for him, and then doing it without his number 1 target, Jameson Williams. And yes, that was targeting, I hope for the SEC championship game, get him off of special teams. I'm sorry, you can't risk him anymore on that. Jay,
Think if that'd been in the second half.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I know Nick Saban has a long history of putting his best players.
So do a lot of
special
guys.
teams.
A lot of coaches have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, that's the good. The bad is this doesn't necessarily look like a classic Alabama team that wins national championships, because I think there's three fundamental flaws. Number one is the right side of the offensive line. We've talked about that a lot. Number two is lack of an elite sort of running back that will be picked in the top 10 or in the first round of the NFL draft. And then number three is issues on the back end of the secondary, confusion. However, they played great, but they were going against TJ Finley, who had the ankle issue going on. The defense, you can't complain at all about the defense. So, Jay, moving forward and looking ahead to Georgia, let's just assume for a second that that Robinson can't play. So you got Trey Sanders. Does Alabama just throw the ball on every single play? Because the three most lethal threats on this team offensively, right, to take away Young at quarterback, are Williams, wide receiver, Mechie, who stepped up 150 yards, played the best game of his career at Alabama, and Billingsley, who made maybe the biggest play of the game on that 4th and 7 play. So what Jay, and we're going to have all week to talk about it, but how does Alabama attack this Georgia defense, which is the statistically the best in the country? And man, if you just look at them, it looks like a defense that is as good as Alabama's had in the Nick Saban era.
Very tough to run against, very tough to pass against. They're very good at rushing and disrupting the quarterback on all levels, whether it's at the pass rush and from the linebacker position with stunts and blitzes, and also in the secondary, being able to cover one-on-one and the athletes to do it. So it's going to be a tough challenge for Alabama in this offense. And I agree with you. I mean, can Trey Sanders be the every down back? We're going to see. Everybody's been wanting to see him play this year more. He's going to get his chance this weekend if Brian Robinson is not able to get healthy enough to play, or at least be able to give him a little bit of a spell. So, saying that, you got to still run it. You can't if you become one-dimensional and they just pin their ears back, it's going to be a very, very long day for Alabama. So you got to find some way to get, whether it's through using other players, through jet sweeps, through some way in order to do other things other than just in the pocket. I think you have to move Bryce, his launch point. You're going to have to do more boots, more sprint outs, more things where he's not setting up in the same launch point every single time when he's throwing the football. That keeps them guessing. You got to mix up your snap count. You got to throw some screens to the outside. We didn't see a lot of that against Auburn this past weekend. Normally see more screens off the RPOs. I think you got to do more of that, even though they've got the speed to get there. It's still, you got to make those big guys up front, Matt, run side to side.
I think there's another real positive in what we saw when one went down for targeting. Ja'Cory Brooks stepped up, and Alabama's been looking for that number 3 receiver. And a lot of us thought it would be Billingsley. I thought he was going to step up. That hadn't happened, although he's been getting snaps and he's made catches over the last couple of games. Now you got Billingsley and you got Brooks. And if there was a better catch this year in college football, I'd like to see it. I'm sure there were some as good. But that was incredible. And if that doesn't give him, Saban, and Young more confidence when he's lined up at wide receiver, I don't know what will. So there's another positive to draw out of the overtime win.
There's been a lot of talk about how Gary Danielson really focused on a Tank not going down on what it was a second down play. Alabama's out of timeouts. He was fighting hard to get the first down, Tank Bigsby, and the Alabama defender, forget who it was, really did a great job of dragging him out of bounds.
Hold him by the waist.
Yeah, pulled him out of bounds. One of the smartest defensive plays I've seen a college player make in a long time. But if Bigsby goes down in bounds on that play, Jay, do you think Auburn wins the game?
Well, they 40 more seconds at least, right? Runs off the clock. So you don't have as much time to go that 97 yards. Play call may have been different on Auburn's perspective. Alabama may have approached it differently as well. But yeah, I think it would have been a big difference. As we talked about on text the other night, I just never want to blame one play, one person. I know you can do that with kickers. You can do that with other situations. Quarterback throws interception late, in the game, all those type of things. But it's throughout the entire game. How did you get to where you were at that point? Why are you in the situation? Why did you not take care of business? Why did you not block on the right side of the offensive line? I mean, there's so many things that go into winning and losing a game that was a huge point at that time. And you're right. It was a big moment for if Tank makes that decision, gets out of bounds, it may have been a totally different outcome and probably would have been. But at the same time, there's a lot of plays throughout the game that a lot of people forget about. You go back and watch the game that could have made a difference as well, Matt.
I'm not a Gary Danielson basher. He made a great point. I think even novice football fans would have kind of figured that out. But I'm going to defend Tank a little bit more here. He could see the stake. That was right there.
Mm-hmm.
If he
gets the first down,
tackle,
game over.
Then
Game
you
over.
can't argue. That is game over. So, but I think Danielson went a little overboard because he kept going back to that. And meanwhile, there was one hell of a football game going on, but he went back to it a couple times too many, in my opinion. But it was a terrific, smart heads-up play, and let me go ahead and look that up. Wasn't Job on that side, was it?
I can't remember who it was.
Who was it? It was a DB
either.
though.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody, I'll guarantee you, somebody will put that up on our stream before I can look it up. But it was a heads-up play.
And Jay, you've said so many times, just weird things happen in that stadium, in the Iron Bowl, and Paul Tyson, who's just been so great at handling being the holder and just dropping the ball. I mean, that hasn't happened all season at all, and.
It's a tough moment. I mean, it happens, and it just slid through his hands, and that was, for him, nobody would not. I mean, that hurts worse than he does.
Absolutely. I don't mean to bash the kid at all.
No,
I'm just saying it's weird. It's just weird things happen.
Yeah, I think I've made the statement to y'all before. Being a guy that grew up in Alabama, the first time I ever went to Auburn to play, I felt like I just landed on Mars. And I did. I mean, it was the weirdest thing, the weirdest feeling, even when I was there for my recruiting visit. I'd grown up in the state my entire life and felt like I was in a totally different universe, and it just had a different feeling about it. And I've heard other people talk about that. Other people have said it. I don't know if that has anything to do with why teams don't play well there, because it's an unbelievable environment. Their fans stay in it. Their students stay in it. It's a very loud stadium as well. I don't know if it's the way it's built, Matt, or not, but when you're on that field, it is just like.
Is it disorienting?
Deafening.
Is it disorienting for you as a player because it's so loud?
I mean, you just can't hear yourself even talk. I mean, that at least down in that one end zone.
So I would think it'd be disorienting.
If you're looking at your players, Lars, I'm looking at you right now, and all of a sudden you just see my lips moving and can't hear anything.
And y'all are like, what, 4 feet, 5 feet apart?
Yeah. No, I'm in their ear. I mean, I'm like everybody's trying to tell each other what to do. And then it just goes to signals and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's a really, it's a tough place to play. Every time we go down there, Matt and I were talking about before the show. I mean, every time I'm like, it's going to be a tough outing for Alabama. And times there hasn't, where they've done well there. But it's even since '89, it's been a tough battle there in Jordan-Hare. All right, we'll continue live from AVX. Before we get to break, though, I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Fully Promoted. They can help you when it comes to branding and marketing your business. If you struggle maybe finding new ideas and for branding and marketing, their team can help you. Their Fully Promoted offers extensive branding and marketing solutions to get your name in front of your potential customers. They have local experts that really sit down and help you and specialize putting your logo on apparel, team gear, caps, promotional products, trade show items, and printed materials as well. They provide access to samples that you can actually touch and feel, and selection and decoration methods to really take your brand to the next level. Call Fully Promote today at 205-406-6430. That's 205-406-6430. Mention you heard this ad on the Jay Barker Show for that special offer. Again, 205-406-6430. Are you fully promoted? All right, stay with us live from AVX, and also all of you watching us live on YouTube channel, on our Bama Insider YouTube. Continue to share, like, and subscribe, and also on our also Bama Insider Facebook page as well. So stay with us. We'll continue throughout the network, Alabama, and down the Gulf Coast. We'll return shortly.
EX Studios in downtown Birmingham.
You're listening to Tide 100.9. Are you in the holiday spirit? Check out Tuscaloosa's Home for the Holidays on Nick 97.5. All Christmas songs 24/7.
Join Randy Smalley and me, Captain Ray, for the Randy and Ray football forecast, where we pick the games against the spread. It's this Friday night at 11 following the high school scoreboard show on Tide 100.9. Brought to you by Randy Smalley Floor and Tile.
Ask big. Have you seen our artisan-created diamonds? If you've been in a room with one, you can't miss it.
Tom Osmond from Fincher and Osmond.
It's a diamond like I've never seen.
And he's seen a lot of diamonds.
Ask big.
At Fincher and Osmond, you can put artisan-created diamonds side by side with mined diamonds. When you see it.
More importantly, when she sees it.
FincherandOsmond.com.
McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
We're going to need to fire up the plow. The big one.
Forecast is 6 feet of snow and 66 new customers for Trin Snow Service.
Hey, Terry.
She needs more drivers before business melts away.
What do you mean Dee can't drive? I thought he was certified.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Recover Now is a national campaign aimed at the education and awareness of the devastating effects of opioid and heroin abuse and curbing drug and alcohol addiction in the United States. Recover Now is sponsored by treatment facilities nationwide. Many of them have been where you are, and they want to help by spreading a message of hope and recovery. They're working hand in hand with major insurance companies nationwide that can help you or a loved one get clean in 7 to 30 days. Recover Now is embarking on a national outreach campaign on TV and radio to promote anti-addiction messages. So if you, a loved one, or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, do not wait. A new life for you could be 30 days away. Call us right now. I promise this call can change your life. Sponsored by the Detox and Treatment Helpline.
800-303-4607. 800-303-4607. That's 800-303-4607.
Your home for Alabama Crimson Tide football. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sunny today with a cold north breeze. The high for this afternoon around 50. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with the low at 29. And for the weekend, we stay dry. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. The high both days right around 60. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 57 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
That's pretty simple. I mean, you work all year long to put yourself in this position. Now you have an opportunity. This is the drive. We're not going to get a lot more opportunities than this. So we got to go out there and execute, and this is going to be our chance, and you got to make the most of it. And it's what you work for all year. How many 2 minutes have we had, all year long, and how many opportunities have we needed to go 2 minutes and go the length of the field? So guys did a really good job. Excellent, actually.
All right, some more from Coach Saban, and after the game, talking about just the drive and the determination and some of the things talked about as far as what they need to do to get it done. You were talking about, you asked the question, who did that, and then all of a sudden, Jordan Battle's name was flying up there.
8-9 times. Yeah, Jordan Battle, and my apologies, that's something I should have had just instant recall on. But everybody's talking about what Tank didn't do. I think every once in a while you ought to write about what Battle did do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Danny Moore, do you do Jordan Battle? Have Jordan Battle in there.
Jay. God,
I'm just thinking about it. I mean, But what a great play, though.
Jay is literally the best punster I have ever met. Steve Rushin, who is Sports Illustrated.
Punster?
Yeah, he can spin a pun.
That's a good one, but his text, and we talked about it last segment, about going in Auburn's like being on Mars. Who would think of that? But then, if it's a totally unfamiliar, fearful, maybe that's not a great word, environment, you feel like you're just in a different place all in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what's kind of interesting is you really can't put your finger exactly. But I remember 89, was that the first year?
First year, 89.
Several people telling me, first of all, there was a purple and orange haze literally over Jordan-Hare Stadium because the Auburn fans had literally shaken their shakers to death, down to the nub. And it was,
I was there. I remember it. Yeah.
And, but they also said there was something else about it. And Jason, from now on, we're going to call Jordan-Hare Stadium Mars.
Well, I don't want to indulge in overstatement here, but first in 97, right? 1:34 on the clock, right? No timeouts. Is this, Jay, the best drive in the history of Alabama football, given the stakes?
Gosh, I mean, that's so hard to say. There's so many great drives over the years.
No timeouts.
No running back. No world-class speed wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, I'd have to take a look at it for a while and go back and think through all
I know. I'm putting you on the spot.
I never like to make those broad sweeping statements about one player.
McElroy had one in the SEC championship game. You remember that was against Florida?
Yeah.
And then immediately comes to mind, only because I heard him talk about it last week.
Yeah. And then McCarron had that one against LSU. We had one against Tennessee in 93, came back to tie that game. We went 80 yards in a minute, 20 seconds. And, that was we went fourth and 10 completion to Kevin Lee. And then he went down to the 1 yard line.
What is that? Didn't he go and play for the Patriots, I think, or somebody like that? But, Jay, what's it like in the huddle? When you don't have the odds are really stacked against you. You get in the huddle, so you got to call a play.
Just speaking of that, when the drive started and the huddle is in the end zone, was that at the Auburn student section?
No, I don't think so. I think
so. They were going into the Auburn.
It may be that. It may be now, but I think they were going into the student section. I haven't been there in a while. The last time I told you I've been there.
Yeah, you don't like going down there.
Well, Brody got sacked 11 times the last time, and then I got a bumper sticker that said, "If you sack Brody, honk."
If you sack Brody Croyle. It's one of the funniest bumper stickers.
It really was.
Other than Steve Garvey is not my Padre,
right?
But that's a totally
good. Yeah. So, but back to your point on drives, I tell you another one. It was a huge drive, and this is one that ended in a field goal, but 85. You get the Al Bell reverse. You get the which Shula makes the block. Greg, over the middle where he holds onto the ball till he comes across and he's able to drag his way out of bounds and gets out of bounds. Van Tiffen.
I've done that. Don't
Van
feel
Tiffen
bad.
comes out and kicks the 52-yarder, and that was one of the greatest comeback drives and moments.
And
in
that
our
was
bowl
only
history.
to like
this
the
one is
35.
this was right there with it.
Yeah.
You're what?
That was only to the 35,
Oh, yeah.
but
That's right.
significant nonetheless.
Given what happened on Saturday in Ann Arbor, Michigan, C.J. Stroud, who was the Heisman front runner, Ohio State loses, and Matt and I were talking about this earlier. Jay, C.J. is a California kid, and he just moved out to the Midwest. I don't even know if he'd ever practiced in snow. It was a perfect storm, literally, for Michigan to win this game. The fact that Ohio State loses, and Bryce Young's numbers weren't phenomenal, but you know what he's got? The drive. And that was his Heisman moment. And
You're right.
You're always looking for that. And from where I sit, and I try to be as objective as possible, I barring any huge disaster on Saturday in the SEC championship game, I think Bryce Young is going to be your Heisman Trophy winner.
I agree. I think he's done it. I think that was a big moment for him as well. Somebody said, remind you, second 26.
That was a hell of
Pretty
a
good
drive.
Yeah.
Well, it started from the 25-yard line. The
but
25-yard drive.
Still.
Yeah, but he didn't have as much room to work with.
Only the guy that caught it.
That's right, yeah. All right, so we'll continue live from AVX. We'll get to more of your comments as well. Continue to watch us live on the YouTube stream as you do each and every day. That is Bama Insider YouTube stream and also Bama Insider Facebook. Like, subscribe, and share each and every day as well. And also throughout our network in the state of Alabama on the radio network and down on the Gulf Coast. Thanks for listening to us, and continue with us as we continue hour number 2. Some of your comments coming up as well.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their urinary and sexual function are great candidates for HIFU treatment.
Preserve your quality of life. Call 866-4-VITURO or visit VituroHealth.com.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for AVX, Audio Video Excellence. They are the premier provider for custom audio-visual design and installation in the Southeast. AVX seeks excellence in everything it does, including a superior employee experience. AVX offers employees an industry-leading salary, insurance benefits, and 401k options. AVX technicians also receive the highest level of certification and continue training, making it one of the most awarded and decorated companies in the industry. Career opportunities are available now for technicians in Birmingham and Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Join the AVX team by contacting them at avxinc.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. If you're average and you're looking for a new pair of running or walking shoes, I suggest you go to an average shoe store, where they'll sell you a pair of average shoes built for the average person with average size feet. But here's the thing, you're not average. No one is. We all exercise differently. We run differently. We walk differently. And our feet come in all sorts of widths and lengths. That's why at the New Balance Birmingham store, we employ fit specialists who will conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot's size and shape, along with your gait, and then determine the best New Balance shoes custom fit to you. Because New Balance isn't your average shoe, and you're not average either. Experience the difference an unaverage custom fit makes today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
Hi, it's Jay Barker. I want to tell you about my good friends Craig and Keith at Birmingham Broker. Go online at bhambroker.com. That's bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269. Got 7 kids, man, and we had to sell a lot of cars. And these guys are looking for a lot of inventory. They helped us with all the hassle. No stress for us. They did the process as far as the sales and everything. Handled it all the way through. White glove type service. You'll love it. Again, it's bhambroker.com. Sell your car through bhambroker.com or 205-716-1269.
Hi, it's Jay Barker for Siebel's in downtown Homewood, and now's the time to get your special place ready. Come in and let Siebel's design your porch with Kingsley Bait outdoor furniture and one of their custom swinging beds. For the great room, you're going to need their Carson swivel recliner. Siebel's is the #1 Carson recliner dealer in the country, and Sarah and I, we've got one, and we absolutely love it. Be sure also to check out their famous custom-made beds and bunk beds, built by Siebel's and made up with some of their best linens in town. Their staff can truly put your bed together like no other store. You can also follow Siebel's and shop on Instagram and Facebook. And be sure to call or go by their special store in downtown Homewood. The number is 800-448-1962. That's 800-448-1962. And just for listening, go to SiebelsCottage.com and order anything you want and type in Jay Barker for a special discount code. That's Jay Barker for a special discount code available only to our listeners for a limited time on The Jay Barker Show. Siebel's in downtown Homewood or online at SiebelsCottage.com.
It's Antonio Langham here to tell you about the easiest way to buy your tickets to your next high school game. Have you ever had to wait in line to buy a high school ticket or stop to get cash on the way to the game? There has to be a better way. There is. It's called GoFan. Check out GoFan.co the next time you need a ticket for a high school game. GoFan is easy, fast, and completely secure. You can buy tickets directly from your phone and just show the ticket at the gate. Download the GoFan app or visit GoFan.co now. That's GoFan.O.
Back in, and as we continue live from AVX on this Monday edition after the Iron Bowl, and what a win for Alabama, 24-22, 4 overtimes, and Bryce Young got it done on an unbelievable drive. Brian Robinson, though, goes out. Jamison goes out as well. Williams, the top receiver for the Crimson Tide, early on with a targeting call. At least it was the first half, not the second, so he will be back and able to play against Georgia in that first half. And also a number of tremendous plays throughout the game. We've talked about some of the areas, too, that Alabama has got to continue to work on, and a lot of it's just the mental errors that were made, whether it was grabbing a face mask, whether it was hitting a quarterback late after a throw, and those things are very much corrected. And I think at times, early on especially, Alabama just got too much in their emotions, and we're playing at a very high level, especially on defense. Seem to be very riled up and really getting to the ball, swarming to it, and trying to, I think, be something different than what they'd heard all week from a lot of the pundits saying this defense does not add up to what Alabama's used to having. And I thought they came out. Pete Golding had a great plan going in against Auburn and put a lot of pressure on TJ Finley as well. All right, so real quick before we get to Mick Gillespie joining us here shortly, just let me know, Josh, when he's up and ready to go, and we'll get his thoughts on Alabama's big win over Auburn. But you talked a little bit about Michigan and Ohio State earlier, the Michigan team. Harbaugh had those guys ready to play, and they out-physicaled Ohio State in the front seven, Lars, as good as I've seen anybody do that against Ohio State in a long time. And I think they really proved a lot this past Saturday. I think this team has gotten better as the weeks have gone on. We talked about Clemson in the break. They look like they got better as the weeks have gone on. They're not anywhere near the playoffs. Oklahoma State, what a win for them over Oklahoma. Now Riley headed to USC as the head coach, and will leave Oklahoma, and he'll be the head coach now. We already see a lot of the players jump into the portal. One of them may be Caleb Williams that may end up being in that portal as well. Could be possibly transferring to USC. But your thoughts real quick, and then we'll get to Mick.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. There's so much to discuss. But,
no kidding. Good thing we got a week here.
Michigan out-physicaled Ohio State in number 97 defensive lineman for Michigan. Just could not be blocked. And the Michigan quarterback doesn't make mistakes. He's got a weird sort of sidearm throw, but he was very accurate. And number 25, the running back for Michigan, just played spectacular. Mm-hmm. And Jay, Michigan is a team that can absolutely win the national championship.
All right, Mick Gillespie is up from BamaInsider. Let's go to him, and normally joins us via video, but not able to do that today. We got him via call, but always great to have him on. All right, Mick, mediocre wide receivers this week, or no, I'm just kidding. We had a lot of fun with that last week.
Running back,
What's
mediocre
your,
running back.
Yeah, exactly. What's your first, just give us your take on the game and man, what a match. I mean, what a game. 24-22 and one of the best endings to an Iron Bowl that we've seen ever.
Yeah, look, my first Iron Bowl was 96. Alabama scored Dennis Riddle, 37 seconds left from Freddie Kitchens. Bama got out in front. Auburn came back. It was just an absolute battle. I thought the upper deck at Legion Field was going to cave in. And honestly, I couldn't believe how good Auburn's defense was. Their crowd, Alabama just looked unprepared for a lot of the game. But Bryce Young had that Heisman moment. Who would have thought Tank Bigsby getting pushed out of bounds would have given Alabama enough time to put the drive together? Probably too many drop passes. Brian Robinson, being banged up, but they found a way to get it done. If Alabama shot their last bullet, Jay, I'm fine with it. Really has been a remarkable season with all of the issues at offensive line, running back, and the drops by the receivers at times for this team to be 11-1, and defensive, the defensive mistake too. But it's still been a great season.
I want to throw this out kind of to the round table here. We've all seen and covered a lot of Alabama-Auburn games. And one of the things I always really loved and admired about it is you didn't see a lot of late hits. There weren't a lot of personal fouls. In fact, there wasn't a lot of trash talking. This, to me, and Mick, your reaction first, they seemed chippy, and actually from the very first kickoff. Was that an observation you made as well?
Yeah, look, I saw it the same way too. It goes year to year. I thought there were some years where Auburn, did a lot of late hitting and stuff like that. And honestly, there's been some times where Alabama's teams weren't very good. And I remember watching and going, you know what, especially some of the Shula teams where you just feel like they're not very disciplined. When they're our team, you're like, well, they're not very, very disciplined. And then when it's the other team, they're just taking cheap shots. But you know what? Alabama came in. Auburn's whole season, their entire season was based on this game because the way that they've lost here going down the stretch. For Alabama, I mean, it's always kind of about championship. And so I think Auburn really just wanted to try to disrupt Alabama, and it started when Bo Nix made those comments about the officiating, and it worked because that's the worst officiating I've ever seen. I mean, it was I couldn't believe it. Somebody sent me a tweet and it had two Alabama fans hugging at the game, and and they said, yeah, they'd probably get a penalty for holding here, So that stuck out to me too. But I don't know. I mean, I got to give Auburn a lot of credit because they just disrupted Alabama in so many different ways. And yeah, I mean, like the plays on the sideline and the extra shots and all that stuff. Sometimes it's part of the game plan just because you want to try to get a better team, mentally off balance.
Mick, I just asked Jay this question, and it's a very difficult one to answer, especially without doing a bunch of research. But is first and 97 with 1:34 left, no timeouts? Is this one of the greatest drives in Alabama history?
Oh yes. You know why? I woke up Sunday and it was all.
Yeah, I know. So I asked Jay. I asked Jay if it was the greatest.
Is good.
So I toned it back a little bit.
Look, Lars, I can't stop smiling. Like both of my ears hurt, my jaw. I mean, it was one of the greatest drives in the history of Alabama football. Look, this is the Iron Bowl, and that's Auburn. And they were already down there rolling Toomer's corner. I mean, this thing was over. And then the unthinkable happened, which is crazy because it seems like all of these games have been Alabama normally kills Auburn or Auburn beats Alabama in a really close, weird game, And this one was, I thought Auburn dominated on the defensive side of the ball. Alabama made a bunch of mistakes. Alabama's defense was really good, but I thought it was Auburn's game until that drive. And it's just crazy how quickly things changed. But I mean, it was 3rd down and 10, and he's in the end zone, and the offensive line, which hasn't been perfect, hasn't even been close to perfect, hasn't really been good. They've been okay. We're great. You know, they made all the big blocks. You know, they gave the guy enough time, and then for him to sit back there and poise, Mechie didn't drop the ball, you know, and then after that, like, you know, just the way that everything happened, it was like watching Joe Montana, you know. There's that clip. I love that clip. You know, those NFL Films clips. Joe Montana's in the huddle in the Super Bowl against the Bengals, and everybody's nervous, and he looks over to the hole, and he goes, "Hey, is that
I'm
John
a Bengals
Candy?"
fan.
Well, Lars, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if
I
don't
do.
know if Bryce Young
That's a
found
very famous
John
quote.
Candy.
It's like, hey, there's John Candy right there. Yeah, and it calmed everybody down.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Well,
yeah, talk about just Jacoby Brooks and him stepping up and coming in with Jameson Williams out of the game after the targeting call, and really stepped up in a big way, but especially that catch at the end of the regulation. You know, I mean, what a big moment for him as a young receiver with not a lot of playing experience to come in and step up like that.
yeah, man, I was so happy for Brooks. And look, the biggest criticism that I have this year is that we haven't gotten guys like Brooks involved. I feel like that the real talent on this team are the underclassmen, right? I mean, the star players that, you know, they don't have a lot of experience. They're not getting a lot of experience, but they have a lot of talent. And I feel like, you know, for Alabama to really take advantage of this season, it's to get more of those guys in. We've seen it with Dallas Turner, you know. I mean, Bryce Young obviously has gotten his chance, but Corey Brooks and those type of guys, you know, we remember when they were recruited, you know, these are top receivers. And a lot of us have been saying this year, where are they? You know, where are they? And I mean, when Jameson Williams got kicked out of the game for targeting, it's just like it's the typical Auburn voodoo. I mean, how could that even happen? But it that always does in that game. Someone else was going to have to step up, and I really hope that we see a lot more of these guys between now, you know, between the next week and the bowl game. You know, I mean, and I know they're going to make mistakes as young players, but you know, that's where the true talent is on this roster. It's in those young guys, the 4- and 5-star guys. He's one of them, and I thought that his catch reminded me of Smitty. You know, Smitty's catch against Mississippi State. You know, not the Georgia game one, but the Mississippi State catch. I think we'll see a lot more of him.
Yeah, and Ja'Cory, you know, I thought he really arrived last week. He made a great block last week against Arkansas that really sprung. I think it was Jameson for a big gain, and it really, I think, proven himself to the coaches that he can do it all, you know, down the field, catching and blocking and just, you know, playing really sound football. You know, he had the one out of bounds where he was already out of bounds when he caught it. He still caught the ball, but he just got to learn from that, and that's just through experience. All right, Mick, always great to have you on Mondays. And, man, what a good one it is to have the Iron Bowl win for the Crimson Tide, 4 overtimes, and was down by 10 going into the fourth, and a number of minutes left in the fourth in order to get that done. And what a drive, 97 yards for the touchdown. Mick, thank you.
Get your water fixed.
Yeah.
I think I'll be good by Tuesday, but a
Pay your
hearty
bill.
Roll Tide. It was a slate. It was a slab leak, if you know what that is. Not very good.
That's what I told him last time too. All
right. Thank you, Mick.
See you, Mick. Tell your wife hello. All right, man. See you. All right, Mick Gillespie joining us. BamaInsider YouTube channel. You can watch him as well tonight on the Monday night quarterback. As there'll be a great show last night. He had on a lot of the callers that they called in for their game review show that comes on every Sunday. But tonight, again, the Monday night quarterback show on with Mick Gillespie. So join him there on BamaInsider right here. Will you join us each and every day live from noon to 2? Like, share, subscribe. Also on our BamaInsider Facebook page and throughout the radio network throughout the state of Alabama and on the Gulf Coast as well. So we appreciate you listening and watching as always. We'll wrap up our number 2 here on this Monday edition after the Iron Bowl. Stay with us.
You're listening to The Jay Barker Show, live from the AVX studios in downtown Birmingham.
Roll Tide, the best sports talk, period. Your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
You know what happens in a plasma chamber?
Big stuff. Science stuff.
Diamonds. I'm Tom Osmond. Fincher & Osmond Jewelers carries artisan-created diamonds.
Earth and human safe.
And bigger. Lots bigger.
Fincher & Osmond diamonds from the mines or artisan-created diamonds.
They're all diamonds.
If you want to give her the big stuff, you've got to see these diamonds.
FincherandOsmond.com, a little tricky to find on McFarland Boulevard between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Dell's Cyber Monday event has arrived, and it's the perfect time to step up your creativity. With incredible savings up to $300 off PCs, it's Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get more into what you're into with the latest XPS and Alienware systems featuring Intel Core processors. Save on top monitors, docks, and accessories, all with free shipping on everything. Plus great financing from Dell Preferred Account. Call 800-BY-DELL for Cyber Monday deals. That's 800-BY-DELL.
O'Reilly. This is Claudia's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
I had just moved to a new city and barely even knew where the grocery store was yet. When my car wouldn't start one morning, I didn't know who to ask about local shops. But I remembered a name from back home, O'Reilly Auto Parts. I called and they pointed me to a great mechanic just down the street. Now I feel a little more at home.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey folks, BJ Perkins, Executive Manager here at Townsend Nissan. Just wanted to get out the message that Townsend Nissan is having a huge new and pre-owned sale now with a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready to roll today. And most of all, your current vehicles at an all-time high. And Townsend Nissan wants it today. And the icing on the cake is finance rates are a record low. Townsend Nissan saves you time and money. So where should you shop for your next vehicle?
Townsend Nissan, your family in the car business.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up,
Good night.
there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Cyber Days are happening now at JCPenney. Hurry to jcp.com and shop thousands of online deals through Wednesday. Tuck into cold weather bedding, including foam mink to Sherpa comforters, heated blankets, and throws up to 60% off. Say yes, please, to 1/10 carat total weight diamonds, just $25. Quick, click these deals before they're gone. JCPenney. Offers valid on select items through 12/1. Cyber online deals excluded from coupons. Other exclusions apply. See jcp.com for details.
High prices don't get you a great network. A great network gets you a great network. It's why Total Wireless runs on the largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. And for a limited time, we're doubling your high-speed data on our $35 unlimited plan from 5 gigs to 10. So you can double your binging, your scrolling, your everything. Total Wireless. Do amazing. Available at Total Wireless stores. Capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Offer ends 12/31/2021. First 10 gigs at high speed, then 2G. Terms and conditions at totalwireless.com/terms.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Sunny today with a cold north breeze. The high for this afternoon around 50. A freeze likely late tonight. Clear with the low at 29. And for the weekend, we stay dry. Lots of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. The high both days right around 60. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 57 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
All right, welcome back in as we wrap up hour number 2. And Mike said, hey, thanks for the Gulf. Roll Tide, thanks for the Gulf Shore shout out. And we are down on the Gulf Coast, stations there from Tallahassee all the way over to around Pensacola and all throughout North Alabama, all the way down to South Alabama in the central Alabama area, as you know, and on the radio network, and also live every day on our broadcast on the YouTube channel for BamaInsider. And go to BamaInsider on YouTube. You'll find us each and every day, noon to 2. Live, like, share, subscribe, and also live on the BamaInsider Facebook page as well. Hey, let's get into the 2-point or the overtime rules. which is 2-point now. But getting to that, you start at the 25, you have a chance to score. You pretty much can do kick, field goal, score. The next is if you score, you got to go for 2. Then from there, it's go for 2, go for 2, go for 2, right? I guess in this case, it was twice. You guys like it. Lars, I'm going to start with you because you want to bring this particular topic up.
I absolutely hate it. And I think it needs to be re-examined because for a game of that magnitude and how much the players put into it, the effort and everything that was on the line, for it to come down to just really 2 plays and whether or not Auburn could make it in from 3 yards out and then Alabama from 3 yards out, it just doesn't seem appropriate to me, Matt.
Well, especially when you've lost your fastest wide receiver and your best running back that's healthy, 2-point conversions become extremely difficult. Of course, that's for both teams. I don't like it. I'm not sure I like the other way. The other way, I think, led perhaps to maybe more injuries. I don't know that this one – wasn't there a game earlier this year where they played 5? Just kept going for 2 and going for a college football or more.
Yeah.
It was a Big Ten game.
I prefer the NFL rule where it's 10 minutes and the team that receives the opening kickoff, if they score a touchdown, game over. If they kick a field goal, then the other team gets a chance. That seems just more like real football. And I understand the argument against it is because it can create more opportunities for injuries.
And ties.
Yeah.
The thing about the NFL I don't like is if you score a touchdown, the game's over. That doesn't give the other team any opportunity at all. So I don't like that part of it.
Jay, your take.
It's about plays. That's the one that went to the 2-point conversion to get away from all that. Once you played that long mini game or that many minutes in a game, and they saw these overtimes just getting out of hand over, and playing a lot more. I mean, there was one game you were talking about, I forget what it was last year. I think it was 2 years ago that it was almost another half a game that they played.
They measured. I mean, in time.
In time. That's right. Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't know. I mean, I think this is, one of the ways to do it. I think you're always going to get better at doing things, but it didn't make it go by faster. It didn't make it happen. I mean, now you went to, okay, now you got to make the play, and it's something that they made the coaches really have to work on this to get good at it, to come up with their own kind of 2-point conversions that they felt like that they could score and do well. And it just puts a lot of pressure on the players.
How do you think, how do players feel about it? I mean, you have 2 sons playing college football. How do the players feel about it?
I think if you could figure out an NFL rule or something like that where, the problem, I think they don't want to end up in ties. They don't like the ties because of what that means to the polls, what that means to, they want a victor. They want to have somebody win it. Where in the NFL with less teams, and I think it's just different because they play, 18 games, right? Or what is it now?
17
games, yeah. So I think that gives them more room to have more, ways to figure out who's going to be, first or whatever. I don't know.
And nobody wants the Iron Bowl to end in a tie. I don't care who you are.
I do.
You do?
Just to make people mad. He'll give us something to talk about. Not that we don't have anything to talk about. Jinx.
Yeah, exactly.
Jinx will poke, you owe me a Coke. Can't say where somebody says her name.
Well, all right. Mick sent me a picture to make sure I saw that it was definitely there. Construction going on.
Did he really? Okay, we believe you.
We believe you now. All right. Hey, thanks for being with us today on this Monday edition. And congratulations, 24-22 to Alabama, but also both teams. What a great game. What a great Iron Bowl for 2021. Have a great Monday. Back with us tomorrow on Tuesday here live from AVX. Audio Video Excellence. And thanks to Josh Smith, our producer. Have a great day.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Achieving your personal best often comes down to how you feel. And when it comes to the right shoes, nothing feels better than New Balance. The fit specialists at the New Balance Birmingham store conduct an in-depth analysis of your foot size, shape, and gait, determining the best New Balance shoes for you. Experience the difference of custom fit today at the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, your feet will thank you.
1 in 7 men will face prostate cancer. Nearly 500 new cases are diagnosed every day in the U.S. Traditional treatments can cause erectile dysfunction and urinary incontinence. But now there's a new option, high-intensity focused ultrasound, or HIFU.
Men who are really looking for an option that really preserves their